George Russell has found himself navigating troubled waters with Mercedes, and the Verstappen situation is set to create an even greater challenge for the British driver's prospects with the team based in Brackley, especially since no contract has been finalized yet. Mercedes understands better than any other team that they will face a tremendously competitive rival starting from 2026. Given this reality, it would be wise for them to explore alternatives elsewhere, including reconsidering the Verstappen possibility, which has been essentially validated by Russell's recent comments. Will we witness a major restructuring of the Formula One driver lineup in the near future? And if that occurs, does Max possess all the solutions to this puzzle? The circumstances are now crystal clear. Mercedes appears to be an extremely attractive destination for Verstappen should the Dutch driver choose to consider departing Red Bull, and Russell's remarks have simply reinforced this possibility even further. The widespread assumption was that these rumors should be dismissed because Wolff had chosen to stay loyal to his existing driver pairing, but ultimately, is it possible to refuse Max on two separate occasions during your professional journey? Although Russell has expressed support for his team principle to recruit the four-time champion to their organization sooner rather than later, should this materialize, George would most likely become the casualty. Expanding on his Mercedes future and its security, Russell stated, "No, my standing at Mercedes isn't guaranteed, but should I remain with them, the upcoming season will mark my 5th year with the organization. Nobody can predict when their opportunity will end. You simply must ensure consistent performance and continued delivery, and whatever follows, only time will reveal." This might represent nothing beyond a standard comment from George's perspective. He has, after all, spent 4 years with Mercedes and is prepared to begin his 5th starting from 2026 onward. Wolff has expressed similar sentiments, but it now appears the Austrian will examine every available option beyond Russell, and without question, Max represents the most coveted asset available. Speculation has emerged regarding Leclerc's frustration with Ferrari, but following his quick dismissal of those claims, attention has returned to Verstappen and Red Bull's significant predicament. I believe Mercedes won't make any moves regarding Russell until they're certain about Verstappen's intentions first. This approach might seem disrespectful to the British racer, but when you have a 4-time world champion and exceptional talent like Max potentially changing teams, everything else becomes secondary. Antonelli will very likely remain with Mercedes due to his enormous potential, and certain developments between Russell and Red Bull suggest this situation definitely merits attention in the coming period. When recent rumors linking Max to Mercedes surfaced, reports indicated that Horner and Russell discussed possible future cooperation. You cannot fault their approach. A significant development awaits them, completely beyond their influence. Some factors remain outside their authority, and should Max and Wolff choose to collaborate, what options would Russell and Horner have remaining? Russell personally mentioned hoping to continue with Mercedes from 2026 forward, marking his 5th year with the Brackley organization, while acknowledging that Formula One represents business at its most competitive level. Victory and defeat alternate, and when discussing this matter by referencing various Formula One champions and their title-winning teams, Russell commented, "Consider Alonso, who arrived and secured 2 championships in his initial 4 seasons, with everyone predicting he would claim 10. He hasn't captured a title since, or take Sebastian Vettel, who won 4 consecutive titles before winning none thereafter. Examining Michael Schumacher's case, he required 5 seasons at Ferrari before claiming his inaugural title there. This marks my 4th season at Mercedes. The next will be my 5th. This explains why we must exercise extreme caution when discussing potential driver changes occurring in the immediate future. This represents an exceptionally delicate subject, and our goal isn't speculation, but rather comprehensive explanation of all parties involved, supported by statements from prominent figures. Recent communications from Wolff and Bradley Lord, Mercedes' communications director, indicated their current driver partnership is secure and represents exactly what they want for the 2026 regulatory period. Nevertheless, we've heard identical assurances countless times from numerous team leaders, and when superior drivers became available, those same teams actively pursued their signatures. Business considerations ultimately prevail, leaving little room for alternative approaches. Therefore, Russell must remain vigilant regarding Max Verstappen's potential market availability, a topic Martin Brundle, the former Sky Formula One commentator, has also addressed. Discussing this developing situation further, Martin observed, "Should Max Verstappen enter the driver market, I would genuinely worry about George's position, particularly since Andrea Kimi Antonelli clearly represents their future investment. Multiple variables exist in this equation. George performs excellently as team leader, but Toto previously missed acquiring Max. I doubt he would allow that opportunity to slip away again. Regardless, how should Russell navigate his upcoming challenges? He certainly knows Wolff appreciates his driver's contributions, but we also understand his perspective on Max. Should the chance present itself, virtually no possibility exists that he wouldn't pursue Verstappen with maximum effort, especially considering this aligns perfectly with Max's Formula One requirements: consistency and supremacy. He has demonstrated race-winning capability despite driving machinery that clearly isn't the fastest available, but with upcoming regulations creating massive grid changes, Verstappen will require significantly more consistency than his current Red Bull situation provides. Internal conflicts within the Austrian organization have prompted Max to evaluate his future and consider whether additional championship opportunities exist with Red Bull. We recall his previous statements emphasizing comfort in his working environment over title accumulation. But following numerous Red Bull departures, does the team possess the necessary elements to retain Max long-term? We witnessed Newey, Corrine, and Wheatley established Red Bull personnel, departing within months of each other. Regardless, we cannot guarantee Max won't follow suit, given his notorious contract exit provision that concerns both competitors and Red Bull alike. Wolff addressed George Russell and Antonelli's team future, stating emphatically, "Currently, we remain satisfied, and this represents our preferred lineup for moving forward under present circumstances." This phrase holds crucial significance. "Under present circumstances" indicates Verstappen remains with Red Bull while Leclerc stays at Ferrari. Market changes would prompt Wolff to respond immediately, attempting to secure elite driving talent for his organization. Russell certainly qualifies as elite talent, having achieved victories with subpar machinery and exceptional qualifying performances. But direct comparisons with Leclerc and Verstappen reveal insufficient supporting evidence. Bradley Lord maintains that contract renewal discussions might commence earlier than anticipated, and addressing this topic, Mercedes' communications chief explained, "We feel no urgency. We oversee George's professional development while serving as his current employer. No pressure exists whatsoever. His complete attention focuses on our performance improvements and vehicular advancement. When appropriate, he and Toto will meet, requiring minimal time to resolve these matters. Nothing has occurred yet, but developments will certainly emerge over the coming weeks and months." We should also acknowledge speculation surrounding Leclerc. I won't engage in conjecture here. He rejected connections beyond Ferrari, but the Maranello organization clearly struggles maintaining driver satisfaction. Mercedes could capitalize by providing exit clause activation options similar to Verstappen's potential approach. However, Mercedes might need to demonstrate competitive superiority before counting on such scenarios. Regarding Russell, should Red Bull negotiations fail, assuming Verstappen departs the Austrian team for Mercedes, Aston Martin becomes a consideration. Expected denials occurred, but understanding these prominent organizations means recognizing they never reveal strategic intentions at critical moments. Confidential negotiations occur privately, just as Horner conducted with George, suggesting the Silverstone team will likely present opportunities should Max trigger cascading effects. Considering everything discussed, what are your thoughts on Russell and Mercedes' situation, and more significantly, do you believe Verstappen will replace the British driver at the Brackley organization in the immediate future? Share your opinions in the comments section below, and afterward, be sure to watch the video currently displayed on your screen.